Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you with us for the 11 o'clock news. I'm Anna Katayama. First at 11, it was a busy night at City Hall as dozens of Portlanders shared their opinions on Mayor Wilson's proposed budget for the coming year. That included many comments on police funding, public safety, and how to combat homelessness. Fox 12's Dylan Scott was at the meeting and has the latest.
Homelessness is certainly one of the billion-dollar questions Mayor Wilson and housing advocates alike are trying to solve, striking a balance between making sure anyone out in the elements has a warm bed to sleep in, but also making sure those ready to find a more permanent solution are afforded those opportunities as well.
Funding for shelter should not be at the expense of funding for housing or eviction prevention or rent assistance. Those things all need to be part of a larger system, and that system needs to work together.
There are plenty of opinions as to how Portland's new leadership should tackle homelessness and affordable housing. However, members of the Welcome Home Coalition, made up of 80 of these type of providers, say budget funding needs to focus on both the today and tomorrow.
We really want the mayor to succeed, but we know that his shelter plan will only be successful if there's a path out of shelter, and there needs to be investment and funding attached to that plan to move people out of shelter into housing, and that is rent assistance and money for consistent case management.
Burnaby is among the thousands in the city who has lived on the streets and says with the help of a case manager and rental assistance, he, like many in similar positions, just needed a little extra support to move from a BED to working on his GED.
It's important to have shelters, but the end of this process is to be housed, to be in a place you can call home where you can feel a human being again, you know? So it's very important.
After Wednesday's city council meeting, Mayor Wilson addressed the concerns and says while the goal is to help residents find stability long term, last year more than 450 people died on Portland streets, and that is where he believes the money needs to start.
That's how you solve homelessness, with housing. But I want to be clear, you can't house people that are dead. We cannot have people suffering on the streets as we drive by in the thousands and be a decent, dignified city. So that's what this budget is about.
Mayor Wilson added that he's working with Governor Tina Kotek on housing reforms that will build more affordable units quickly, and that he's asking for some patience as the plan and millions spent are focused first on getting everyone a bed by December 1st.
The street should not be a rung in the ladder of whether they're going to live or die. So let's provide that life-saving care. But in the same respects, the governor and I share the same focus. We need to accelerate housing, and we need to build it fast.
In the meantime, the city's toughest critics will continue to hold him accountable. Both sides with the same goal, just different ways of getting there.
That's almost 2,500 potential shelter beds within the city of Portland. We then need to ensure that we have 2,500 pathways out of shelter for the people that are in shelter. And if we don't have a level of funding to make that happen, then that's what we should be looking at.
Now the mayor and city council will review and could propose amendments to the budget over the next several weeks, voting on whether to adopt this budget before July 1st. Reporting in studio, Dylan Scott, Fox 12 Oregon.